Хорошо. Ну-ка. Угу. Так, а как он по-настоящему выглядит? Вот так вот. Мне прям интересно.
Я с конфетами решила смотреть.
Попей водички. Цени.
Не то.
Ну, как будто овсянку ешь просто. Только не жуешь ее. Просто овсянка в пюре.
Потому что...
Попробуй.
Сейчас на конфету попробую.
Дрон наблюдением. Пошли захватим.
А что вообще там задание? Ну, такое большое задание, да, сделали?
Мы тут посражались. И воду сделали.
Когда мы сражались?
Ну, помнишь, комбо выполняли.
Зачем такое?
Ну, выбраться из города побыстрее. Рыбы плавают смешные. Не боятся меня.
Вода прозрачная, но зеленая.
Ну, болото, потому что тут прозрачно.
Ну как болото? Не точка.
Так называется, колючие топи. Город.
Ну ладно. То есть на болотах Петербург?
Ну, по сути.
Ну как овсянку? Нет, не овсянку. Я бы не сказала.
Тебе нравится?
Ну, нормально.
Я бы, наверное, не брала. Больше.
Да.
Гнездо. Ой, там, видно,
Мне ничего, тебе не нравится? Да?
Ну, да. Мне тоже ничего, ну, как бы можно было лучше. Ну, давай!
Куда ты?
Сейчас он сюда прилетит.
Смотри за мной.
Вот сейчас он сюда прям прилетит.
Да?
Да.
Держи.
Держу. Угу. Так, руины. Че, пошли в руины?
А сейчас будет звери страшные.
Почему?
Ну, в руинах всегда машина.
Да ну. Наоборот, никогда машин нет в руинах.
Вот мы в прошлой руине ходили, кучу машин были. Давай, я тебе не так сказать.
Не, мне вообще не нравится йогурт.
Ну, ешь.
У меня, конечно, еще привкус во рту. Сейчас перманентный. Опять. Но все равно.
Я вот эти какие-то небольшие. Хорошие от них. Я думаю, что не есть.
Да. Хотелось бы мне в своей жизни попасть в лес с секвоями все-таки.
An old world ruin. I wonder what's inside. Okay, time to take a look around. is an elevator.
Лифт.
Почта не двигается.
Не двигается, я думаю.
There's a relic inside the tower.
Угу,
Looks
вон
like
она.
another ornament. That's how to get in there. Okay. Where to now?
Так, теперь надо ящик найти. Угу. Ну. Ну, там ничего нет дальше. Просто там стена. О. Аккумулятор. Бракованная?
Опять.
Сейчас постою. Сейчас постою.
This thing is losing its charge fast.
А?
Например, больше нет. Куда вы попали? О, ты ж полетала.
Это не люк только. А, вот сюда надо.
There's some kind of device here. Looks like it needs power.
Интересно, я просто успею дойти.
Energy cell's out of power. Gotta plug it back into that device and charge it up again.
Угу.
There. Power's restored. The relic I saw in the tower should be up above. Gotta find a way up there. It's working.
Это я люк. Угу. Я подняла лифт. И...
О, что это?
Ну, собачки. А вон ящик. Кто там написывает тебе? Что пишет?
Спрашивает, как будешь.
Ага,
Ты что, не можешь в дырку зайти?
не могу.
А сюда входишь.
Да.
There's some kind of
Что
switch.
такое?
Wonder what it's for.
Что-то куда-то полетело.
Looks like the switch controls those old lights on the rails up there. Can't let the cold distract me.
Ты видела, он включился?
Да,
Но тебе нужно, что он дойдет вот сюда, видимо. Он
Да.
туда заходит. Вот.
да, но я не знаю, как одновременно рычаг сделать.
Ну смотри.
Ну, вот я на нем висю и чё?
Нет. Отсюда стрельни в рычаг, вон рычаг.
Так я стрелять не могу.
Ну-ка, тогда сделай тыц и посмотри, куда он пойдет.
Так я знаю, куда он пойдет. Он по рельсам пойдем.
И,
Все, и полетела обратно.
понятно.
Ну, она до сюда доходит.
У нас есть второй рычаг.
Там вот огнеблеск есть. Как к нему пропасть, вообще не знаю. А, вон еще ящик. Вообще вот там.
Их там пока не разобралась.
Ну, к лифту нужен ящик.
Ну да, не буду, что дальше.
Ну вот к лифту нужен ящик, вот тут ящики, 2 штуки аж целых.
The top of the tower should give me a good vantage point of the entire room.
Тут огнеблеск, как к нему попасть?
Those lights on the rails move fast.
Да. Сюда мне надо еще тоже. О! О! Каким-то чудом мне просочилась. Так, нет, не понимаю.
Ну да, и запрыгнуть. Ты правильно
Так оно,
сделала.
но упало. А, вот за это.
Не назад.
There's a crate up there.
Ящик. Хорошо. Ой, чуть не упала, елки-палки. Ну, ящик надо спихнуть явно.
Вон туда.
Наверное, да.
Застрял?
Да нет, не должен. Теперь надо его выпихнуть. Так.
Куда?
Вот. Тут еще какой-то кусок непонятный мне. Может, куда-то сюда? Нет, я не хочу. Я ничего не вижу, блин.
Ну-ка назад посмотри. Наверх.
Ну,
Не за что цепляться. Может, так ящик отсюда присунуть?
ну, я в теории могу этот ящик забрать с собой. Смотри, вот так получается. Я его вот так вот скинула. Я его взяла, я его толкаю. Я его притолкала к лифту. Наверное, так.
There we go.
Угу.
This could help. Ledges up on the wall, but I don't think I can reach them from here.
Нет, нужен еще один ящик вот сюда как раз, видимо. Видишь, она не допрыгивает.
Might be able to reach the
Да.
balcony from the top of the tower.
А как ты ящик на крышу поставишь?
Сейчас еще раз. Ну, залезь.
Ты прыгаешь с дыры просто. Надо, что дыру я вот так вот, да.
Как?
Ну, ты через дыру прыгаешь, она на самом краешек стоит, или ты на краешек.
Ну как? Ну как?
А,
Ну да, с разбегу хоть.
а там вот это нечем снять.
Нечем. Тут нужен второй ящик.
Как его на крышу не А вот там не цепляется?
Good use of this.
Нет.
Надо
Мне нужно залезть на крышу башни. Что, во-первых, она так сказала, во-вторых, я, наверное, так долечу до ящика. Куда, господи? То есть выше я не доберусь еще.
нету ничего, да?
Ну да, это максимум. Ну, в любом случае, вот, я смогу вот,
видишь,
к ящику.
светятся вот эти.
Да, я смогу
Maybe I can glide to the balcony from the top of the tower?
вот так. Поджигаем. Тут какой-то зал был, ну. Нет.
А там больше ничего нет в твоем ящике?
Да нет, и ну там был сундук, я его проверила. И что, он не тащится сюда, вы хотите сказать? Эй! Вообще не то, что я хотела.
Нет, тут завал. А там электрика.
Да, там был энергия. А, ну нам, видимо, надо...
Вниз? И опять в лифт вытащить.
Ну тут другого варианта не дают. Нам бы не дали его сбросить. А, я знаю как. Наверное. А? Нет, друг на друга я не думаю, что получится. Угу.
Flies fast. Down to hands.
Хрен победи.
А он выше не идет, да?
Нет. Давай сюда. А, я теперь лифт опущу и подниму его на крышу.
Точно. Да, ты второй там можно.
Ну, зачем второй?
Вылезешь на
Эй,
Нет, наверное. Нет. Есть.
Down it goes. Okay, I think I'm getting there.
да елки-палки. Не поняла. Потолок увеличился.
А ты как-то на него не так смотришь, как
Господи.
Made it. Not the ornament. Stammer will be interested in this.
из них всякие штучки.
Should give it to him the next time I see him.
Что это?
Ну, это же прикол у них такой. Они там командой разносили их по всему, по всей Америке. Я не знаю. Просто у них такой прикол был. Мы типа вот оставляем вам приветы тут.
А кто это внесел?
Да какая-то команда людей просто приколисты. Раскидывали фейерверки по Америке. Да, они в каждой этой записку оставляли. Просто я сейчас не смогла записку открыть почему-то. Не по отелям их. Раскидывали.
А, по отелям?
Ну, это тоже типа отель.
Что у меня такая гадкая внутри настроение, состояние, прям как будто говна поелась. Грань, это кто?
Город. Тут говорят, с кем-то поговорить. Ну, можно сходить в город.
А кто это Грань?
Город.
Я понимаю, это кто там живет?
Какая-то Карагела, я не помню даже.
Нормально?
Кто? Спроси у них. Нормальные они вообще.
Вот. Тут холодно почему-то. Она говорила, что очень холодно.
Ну, хрен поведи.
I'm going, Rebecca. You can't.
Lie still.
Реально грань прибоя.
Who are these raiders you're talking about?
Some of Regala's supporters were hunted down near here. Most fought to the death, but one group had other ideas. They escaped pursuit and raided Tide's Reach. They were last seen out to sea to the west.
The raiders escaped out to sea?
We think that's why they raided the settlement. They built a flat boat. Bits of wood tied together.
Raft?
I wouldn't want to go to sea on one, but it seems that was the raiders' plan. Slaughter our sleeping guards, steal supplies, and sail straight west.
Are you worried they might come back?
The supplies they stole won't last forever, and they were prepared to gut our guards to get them. People here want justice. That won't happen until those fugitives are found.
If the raiders went out to sea, I'm not sure how I could follow them. I guess they got away. For now.
А, ну, может быть, налетчики где-нибудь тут, раз они уплыли. О, тут вопросик. Я его не видела. Ну, ладно.
Ну, могут. А, он может посередине маленький вот этой стороны.
Кто? Этот?
Да.
Ну, она в любом случае говорит, пока что не могу добраться. Но это, видимо, мы эту тетю где-то встретили, и она нам сказала, вот помощь нужна. Наверное, что-то такое.
Наверное.
О, фашаф.
Там есть еще?
Да. Прикольно, фашаф увидел море. Так, вот там что-то.
What's going on here?
You're her. The one from the embassy.
Please, You have to go after my father. He's going to get himself killed in the stand of the Sentinels. The forest beyond the village. Everyone else seems to have forgotten that we don't abandon our own.
Phaneira? If you're gonna drag the Outlander into this, at least tell her the whole story. Goroka gave her that stab wound.
It was an accident.
How did your father accidentally stab you?
For a while now, he's been sneaking out of the village to hunt alone in the stand. Sometimes he's gone for days. So this time, I followed him to his hunting camp. Tried to convince him to come home. Words led to fists. And somewhere in the middle of it all, his knife. He was already gone when I fell.
You would have bled to death had I not come looking for you.
It doesn't make any sense. The way he looked at me... It was like I was a stranger.
Perhaps it's time to recognize...
He's fine! He has to be.
I can't make any promises, but I'll find him if I can. At least to see if he's all right. Where's his hunting camp?
Southeast of here. Thank you.
Glad that's settled. Now you need to rest.
Get more aggressive!
Что-нибудь есть? Конечно. Тут мне не дадут подраться, потому что слишком лоховской круг. О, там сундук. Ну, потому что тут лохи всякие дерутся. Ну, просто... Я просто так сказал, просто тут не для меня. А, одежда.
Можешь продать.
Точно. Точно. Я думаю, что у меня так денег мало. Я забываю продавать. Вон, 17 сердец. Думаю, что делать.
А что будет домой отложено? Это что? Вот. Это кто?
Я даже не знаю, если честно.
Крылья десятых. Все отложено.
До выполнения крылья десятых. Кто такие крылья десятых?
Там же были. Ты же смотрела.
Да, но у меня нету этого задания.
Ёлки.
Ну, сейчас.
Значит, надо вернуться в музей. А, мы с тобой вчера это говорили, позавчера.
Да.
Вернуться в музей и найти это задание. Это 10-й этаж. Ну, мне кажется.
Может быть.
В горы хочешь? Это тут на старт другие совсем смотрели. Да? Мы тут не были?
Были. Вот.
А как мы туда попали?
Мы там, помнишь, через расщелину
вот,
прошли.
Да. А, и к ним можно и здесь пройти, получается. От моря, да?
Да. Ну, что-то надо сделать. Можно мужика этого найти. Можно не мужика найти, можно по основному зайти чуть-чуть.
На базу сходить?
Да.
Ну, давай сходим домой.
Так. Как она это приделывает? Цветок там. Птицы поют, я слышу. Вон цветок.
Well, now I know where little flowers come from.
Нет, я не думаю. Да, нельзя.
To stop the feral plague.
Нет.
Demeter must have started distributing them after it took refuge in the greenhouse.
Так, ну что у вас тут?
There she is. Heard you had an interesting time at Thebes.
Maniacs, lava. What's not to like?
I'll remember that next time I go traveling.
At least I got what we needed to trap Hephaestus.
Good thing I got my gear ready then.
Have you spoken with Alva yet?
Yeah, when she's not reading the archives like a giddy kid drinking her first ale. She took to that new focus quick, that's for sure. I gotta say, I'm a little jealous. But I can see why you two hit it off.
You look tired.
Ha! You never want to hold back, are you? I've just been making sure that I got everything down for this mission of yours. I wouldn't want to be the usual screw-up out there.
You'll do fine, Errand. I should get going.
As soon as you want us heading out to those cauldrons.
I'll give you the heads up.
From the look on your face, I'd say the mission was a success.
I got Omega clearance. Is everyone ready to head out to Cauldron Gemini?
As soon as you give the word.
Did Alva make it here all right?
Our new Quen friend. The moment she laid eyes on the archives, she jumped on them like a long leg.
Sounds about right.
Она нашла его там, куда мы спустились, к Фара.
Как она? Я не видела.
Ну, она вот стояла в компьютере и такая вот, когда
это
она там...
вот в компьютере нашла.
Да, и скачала.
Now that I have Omega clearance, we can grab Hephaestus and finally have the advantage over the Zeniths.
Can't wait to see their faces as they stare down a bunch of charging thunderjaws.
Better them than us, for once. Once Gaia is back up and running, I expect you to put all your training to good use.
The seeds have been planted. All they need is a chance to bloom. What? I thought that was pretty good. Zoe liked it.
I'm glad you and Zoe found each other.
Don't forget, you're to blame for that.
I should go get this to Gaia.
Of course. Let us know when we're needed.
Welcome back.
Good to be back. Have you met our new Quen guest yet?
I could barely keep up as she gave herself a tour of the base. Varl gave her a new focus. Though when he told her she was free to access all the data we had here, she turned so pale, I thought she'd faint on the spot. We showed her to the archive room so she could see for herself. She hasn't left the place since.
Sounds like Alva.
Oh, I also wanted to give you this. For helping with the land gods. Plainsong is in your debt.
Thank you, Zoe.
You deserve much more for all you've done. May the land always bloom in your steps.
And yours? Read anything interesting lately?
I found out the old ones use leaf infusions like the Utaru do. Tea, they call it. Apparently it helped soothe them. That and some sort of scented wax they used to cleanse their aura. Plus something called bubble baths. Me, I think I'll stick to singing to calm the nerves.
How are things with everyone?
Slightly quieter. Aaron's been busy scouring data on his newest obsession. Apparently the old ones wrestled machines as some kind of performance. Called it metal versus meat.
A must-see battle between steel and flesh, as Aaron likes to put it. You'd think we have enough of that going around as it is.
I assume you've been looking into Demeter now that Gaia's merged with it?
Yes. It's been humbling. To know that the seeds I carry in this pouch came in turn from the seeds saved for Demeter in the old world. It gives me hope that the cycle of life will prevail now, just as it did before.
How to go with the chorus after we fixed the land gods?
They were shocked when I told them that our lands would soon be on the mend. I thought Fane's eyes would pop out of his head. But of course they had no choice but to take it as good news, even if it meant all their preaching about meekly accepting our doom was exposed as rot. To be honest, I found the conversation to be highly enjoyable.
I'm glad. You deserve it. They're lucky that you never gave up on saving them. I need to get going.
Right. You've retrieved the Omega clearance. That means we'll be going after Hephaestus soon. I'll make sure my gear's ready.
Так, алло.
Aloy!
Right to work, I see.
There's just so much. I mean, we knew of artificial beings that served the ancestors, but Gaia? Oh, she's amazing! And you, a true reincarnation of an ancestor. Genetically speaking, of course, not like the, late CO. And there's more ancestors out there, returned from beyond the stars. Of course, they're trying to kill us, which is not great. And Eric Visser is with them, which is disturbing. And then there's Hephaestus, and...
Okay. How about we take it one step at a time?
You're right. I also owe you an explanation for everything that happened at Landfall.
I imagine you don't know anyone here that well yet, but they're a good group.
It's funny because one of your friends is, well, another you. Not that you are the same person at all. I mean, you are, as in, you're both genetically Elizabeth Sobek, but even so, you're different.
Yeah, we are. I hope everyone's been treating you okay.
Oh, yeah, of course. They've all been extremely welcoming. And they share the knowledge they learn on their focuses with each other freely. It's refreshing. Back home, diviners can only share data with the permission from the overseers.
Sounds restrictive and stifling.
Yeah, you are not wrong.
I see you've been using your new focus.
It's been fascinating. So much better than the version the Quen have. What would have taken me years to sort through, like the database you helped me recover, with this, I've been able to establish search parameters to speed up the process. This could revolutionize how diviners analyze the legacy. That is, whatever part of it the overseers would actually let us study.
You wanted data, you'll find lots of it here.
A diviner has never had this sort of unsupervised access to archives such as this. And knowing you, I suspect there is much that would normally be forbidden held within them. But I was sent here to help you. I would be remiss to ignore any truth laid before me. Maybe it'll help the Quen find their way back to the path of truth.
You mentioned Eric Visser? How do you know about him?
The Zenith who tried to kill you? He is known to the Quen as the Protector. Combing through data related to his work led us to breakthroughs related to weapons and military tactics. Knowledge our rulers used to conquer and expand, to become the empire we are today. That's why he's one of our most revered ancestors. But based on your encounter with him, it appears he's even more ruthless than we ever imagined. Yet another distorted interpretation in the legacy.
Well, at least you're piecing together the truth.
If only the overseers back home would do the same.
Beta mentioned other Zeniths. Tilda, Verbena, and Gerard.
I'm afraid I don't know anything about them. Whatever legacy they left behind, the Diviners haven't recovered.
Back at the greenhouse, you spoke of knowledge forbidden to your people.
Diviners are meant to seek out the truth in the legacy, and many Imperials sponsor them in the hopes they'll find something the Empire can put to use, thus gaining favor with the Emperor. But the Board of Overseers claims certain truths are detrimental to the stability of the Empire, like discovering one of our revered ancestors ended the world. That is why Diviners are only allowed to access segments of the legacy. Only Overseers can view it all. It ensures that any heretical data can be contained and retrieved before it can spread.
What happens to Diviners who break the rules?
I never had the courage to ask.
You said you owed me an explanation for what happened in Thebes. I'm listening.
Right. I'll start at the beginning, with the CO. He was an Imperial, the Emperor's nephew, in fact. As such, he sponsored many Diviners to search the legacy for anything that might help the tribe, and himself. He took a special interest in anything related to Ted Faro, whom we consider the greatest of the ancestors.
Ted Faro, revered ancestor. That's tough to take.
I know better now, of course. Anyway, the Diviners discovered that Faro spent a great deal of time in San Francisco. In fact, many of the most important ancestors did. So the Emperor's nephew convinced him that an expedition across the ocean might solve our most pressing problems. If only we could find the right data in this fabled city. Perhaps we could roll back the floods and storms that threatened our people. The Emperor declared that all the tribe's resources be poured into this endeavor. Dozens of ships were built, scouting missions were dispatched, and the Emperor's nephew was named CO, one who wields the legacy for the good of the Empire. The living embodiment of Ted Faro, a renewer. It may seem strange now, but for a time, he carried all of our hopes. We really believed he would save us. We had no idea just how perilous the journey would be.
You said the expedition across the sea was more dangerous than you thought it would be. What happened?
We lost most of our ships to hurricanes, and scores of soldiers perished to hunger and disease. And that was before we even hit the coast. Once we landed, machines ripped our patrols apart, and we struggled to replenish our rations. There were bright spots, to be sure. We found Thebes and the greenhouse. But nothing improved the CO's mood as his dreams of saving the tribe were slowly dashed. He became more and more obsessed with Thebes and what lay behind its door. And more convinced that the title of CO was no mere honorific. You heard him, spouting nonsense about Pharaoh's essence and some kind of becoming. We knew these weren't the words of a sane man, but he was quick to put any who spoke out in front of a firing squad.
What a great guy.
The Quen are wrong about many things when it comes to the legacy. I can see that now. But what the CO became was a complete perversion of what principled diviners stand for. The pursuit of truth. I'm sorry you had to endure his madness. I'm just glad it's over. For everyone.
So, Bohai, your overseer. Will he run things better than CO?
He won't execute people on a whim, if that's what you mean. But he's hardly a paragon of integrity. I can't tell you how many times he took credit for data in the legacy that I uncovered. The best thing I can say about him is that he can be trusted to always do what's best for him.
Yep, sounds about right. The ancestors, is that what your people call the old ones?
Yes and no. The ancestors are the greatest of the old ones. Those whose legacy taught us agriculture, medicine, warfare, leadership, and patronage of the science and arts.
The CEO called Elizabeth Sobek an assistant. What's that about?
Right. Well, any old one who has made minor contributions or worked extensively under one of the ancestors is called an assistant. That's how we thought of Sobek, until we met you. Our limited access to data past the late 2040s has obviously misinformed our view of the past.
You mentioned the reason you came here was to help your family. Your sister...
Her name is Alika. Our parents are commoners, peasants, really. When I passed the divination exams, they were so proud. It brought honor to our family and increased rations. Only Alika begged me not to leave for the research academy.
Why? What happens there?
Alika knew that once you enter, you're not allowed to leave or see anyone, not even your family. Unless you can get special permission and an escort by an overseer.
It sounds harsh.
Like the focuses we keep, diviners are few in number, and the Empire is, well, fearful that outsiders will try to steal our knowledge. Last time I was allowed to see my family was just before our voyage here. Because of my position, I was able to get them refuge from the floods within the capital. But if our crops don't recover soon, they'll starve to death along with everyone else.
I promise I'll do my best to make sure it doesn't come to that. I need to get going, but if you need anything...
All I need is to help you succeed in your mission. The plan Gaia told me about, to capture Hephaestus, it will help set things right.
I hope so.
Then I will do whatever I can. I promise.
Ну, молодец такая. Да, ого, сколько мне всего дали. Осталось поговорить с Катала и с этой спуститься. Может, у меня какие-то запчасти появились? О, могу сделать лиходея теперь захватывать. Все, больше никого не могу. Бивень, рог, сетка, хвост. Как хвост у бронеката я отобью? Ну где этот? Не тут. А, вон он. Коврик у него красивый. Не знаю.
Well met. We've been briefed on our mission, and are ready whenever you wish to head to Cauldron Gemini.
Were you able to finish the new arm Gaia was helping you with?
Indeed. I was hoping we could discuss it, if you have a moment.
Have you spoken with Alva?
The Quen is peculiar. Nothing like a Tenakth. Her mind is sharp, that much is certain. But it's hard to imagine her surviving in the wilds.
Trust me, she's tougher than she looks.
I will take your word for it.
How are your studies going?
I wanted to learn more about the world of the Old Ones.
And?
I looked up this pharaoh Gaia said you went looking for, and learned about the plague of machines he unleashed. To think that the ancient world was wiped out by... a mistake. A single miscalculation. There is no glory or honor in such a fate. Only hubris. And pointless death.
That about sums it up. You wanted to talk about your arm?
Indeed. It's time to test it. And I want you to be there.
Okay. How are we doing this?
Not how. Where? Will you meet me where we felled Regala's tremor tusk? Right where the river bends?
Sure, if you want, but I'm not sure I understand.
You'll see when we get there. I promise.
Then I'll let you know when I get close.
You have my thanks, Aloy.
I have to go now.
Then do not let me keep you.
Like I said, I'll call you when I'm close to Regala's old outpost near the bulwark.
May the Ten guide your way.
Да. Так, надо к этой спуститься. Если вообще есть что сказать.
Как ты ее?
Почему? Почему не дают туда зайти? Почему?
Это та дверь?
Та дверь. Ладно.
Она закрылась?
Ну, пусть сидит.
Почему так?
Не знаю.
Welcome back.
Я вообще не к тебе, понятно? Нет.
Drones reconnected now.
Все, осталось 2 дрона собрать. А это что такое? А, это штуки эти.
Ayla, I know your experience in Thebes was unsettling, but we have a new problem.
Did something go wrong with Beta and the rig? Will we be able to transport you to Gemini?
The rig is complete. The problem is Hephaestus itself. It has accelerated its proliferation throughout the Cauldron network, increasing its power.
But with your sub-functions restored, we can still succeed, right?
Correct. But the net effect is that absorbing Hephaestus will take longer than previously calculated.
How long?
Even with Omega clearance, my current estimate is that the merge will take 35 hours.
And each hour increases the risk of detection by the Zeniths. Two cores. 2 overrides. What if the merge were carried out by 2 clones of Elizabeth Sobek, both armed with Omega clearance? How long then? Half the time?
Hephaestus would be unprepared for the simultaneous labor of 2 operators, in addition to obvious synergetic efficiencies. Calculating. It would reduce the merge time to approximately 4.5 hours.
Okay. Varl, it looks like we're gonna need Beta at Gemini. Do you think you can convince her?
I don't know, but I'll try.
What about our diversion? Are the pulse generators ready?
Only a final test remains. I am confident that if fired in proximity to other cauldrons, the pulses will mask our activities at Gemini from the Zeniths.
Good. As long as Aaron can operate one without shooting himself in the face.
Aloy, you better get down here. Beta's in bad shape.
Okay.
О, мой бог.
Gliding in.
Да не знаю, просто задание завершу. Да, почему-то. Почему-то у меня близнецы, у меня почему-то задание дронов включено. Поэтому дверь была закрыта, потому что она заперлась, да?
I tried, but it's impossible. I don't think anything will convince her to go.
We don't have a choice.
Good luck.
Beta, you have to come with us. It's the only way. It's one mission. The most important one. We need you. Tell me why you won't go. What if they take me back? Alone, in a cell again. A slave. Forever.
тебя защищу.
Я бы сказала, цени шансы, потому что она такая умная. Ну, наверное, да, ей никто любовь не говорит.
Laurel and I will be at Gemini too. I'll protect you. As soon as we get Hephaestus, we'll come straight back here. The Zeniths aren't going to find us. You don't have to be afraid. No! You can't protect me. Nothing can protect me from them. I told you from the beginning, we'll never beat them. It's hopeless. Beta. Leave me alone! You don't understand!
Да я бы уже ее просто связала и взяла с собой в котел. Вообще похеру.
You're right. I don't understand. We have the same genes, the same mind, the same heart. So why can't you find the strength to do what has to be done? Like Elizabeth would. Don't you think I've thought about that? I don't know what piece of Elizabeth I'm missing. I don't know what you have that I don't. I look through all the data from your focus. You were raised as an outcast, shunned, and isolated just like me, so what's the difference? What's my defect? Beta, you don't have a defect. Beta, look, it's not a piece of Elizabeth. The difference is, I had him. Frost. He raised you, trained you, but he was never warm or loving. The day he died, the day he gave you that charm, he was going to abandon you. He wanted me to embrace the tribe. But then he gave his life for mine. He loved me in his own way. And that was enough. What did he feel like? It was like having the strength that was always there. It's still there. Even now I hear him in my head when things get bad. When it looks impossible, look deeper. And then fight like you can win. You don't have to go on the mission. We'll find another way. I'll go. You said you'd try to protect me. I believe you. But you have to promise me. Yes, of course. If it goes bad, if the Zeniths find us, I don't want to be their slave again. Do you understand? Okay. Promise? I promise. I could use as much time as you can give me to study up on the merge, to make it as efficient as possible. I'll be ready when you are. I swear.
Ну, она тоже холодная очень, она не обнимается ни с кем.
Хоть один раз бы тогда.
Whenever you're ready, come speak to me and I'll ask the others to make final preparations for the mission.
Она убьет ее.
Давай поговорим со всеми. Ой, еще какое-то новое задание у кого-то. Давай поговорим, получим задание. А? Ну,
I thought I'd check in before leaving for Gemini.
Are you sure we shouldn't be checking up on you? Whatever went on between you and Beta sounded intense. Not that I'm judging. Forge knows all the screws flew loose every time Mercer and I fought.
I think we'll be fine from now on.
I'm glad to hear it.
Anybody take you up on that ale you brought yet?
Zoe can't stand the smell of it. I tried Alva, but I don't think she knows what taking a break means. And I'm not putting Varl anywhere near that stuff after that victory party in Meridian.
What about Catalo?
Now there's a man that can hold his liquor. Pretty sure we downed half a keg. We had a good chat, I think.
After we get Hephaestus, we'll be taking the fight to the Zeniths. So, no more reading.
It wasn't that bad. Not really. Besides, going through all that data helped me realize something. You know, the soldiers, the ones that fought the Pharaoh machines so Gaia could be built, they were fighting a battle that couldn't be won. Not with all the weapons in the world. I think most of them realized that, whether anyone said it or not. They still did it, though. They bought time for all the eggheads working to save the future. Our future. As long as I can do that for you, I'll consider myself a success.
Thank you, Erend. I'm glad you're with me.
Okay, enough. I'm gonna get emotional.
I should go.
Same here. I got a date with a cauldron to prepare for.
да ну, я не думаю, что они все помрут.
Aloy, everything okay with you and Beta? It sounded like you guys had a, lively conversation.
We just had a lot to talk about.
Does this mean she's coming with us to Gemini?
It does. I hope you're ready to rein in the most stubborn AI of all time.
That's what all this was for, wasn't it?
Hephaestus won't go down quietly.
Hephaestus is just a program that's lost its way. We are fighting for our survival. I can always call upon the goddess if you're nervous.
Funny.
Столько всего.
How does everyone seem to you?
Anxious, but ready. I heard Catalo ask for Alva's help with his pulse generator. And I know he's been helping her with a few fighting techniques, just in case.
I hope they aren't needed.
Like I said, just in case.
Any last findings you want to share before leaving?
Not really. Though I've reached a decision.
Oh?
When we put Gaia together, I want to return to the Nora. Spread what I've learned.
You think they'll listen to you?
In time, I believe so.
If anyone can make it happen, it's you, Varl. What will you and Zoe do if you go back to the Embrace?
I hope she'll come with me. At least for a while. And I'll go with her to Plainsong too. She'll probably want to talk to her people about all this as well. We'll figure it out.
I know you will. I hope firing off those pulse generators will be enough to distract the Zeniths.
It'll work. It has to.
Always optimistic, huh?
Nah, just stubborn. It's a good quality to have when dealing with you.
Yeah, right. You were right, you know, about keeping Rost's memories buried. I guess part of me thought he was holding me back, because he wanted me to be a Nora. But the truth is, he gave me a lot. And I took him for granted.
He was a good man. He raised you well.
I'm glad you're coming with me, Varl.
Sure there's no urge to run off alone in there somewhere?
No more running. Hey, we'll be going after Hephaestus soon. You good with the plan?
I've already got the location of my assigned cauldron.
Good.
I heard you and Beta had a talk.
News travels fast.
It wasn't exactly a quiet conversation.
There were just things that needed to be said.
A healthy crop to those who clear the weeds between them, as the Utaru say.
You look like you have something on your mind.
We're going to war soon. And war is something I promised myself I'd left behind in the Red Raids. But the more of your data I go through, every voice I hear, every word I read from our ancient past, it makes me realize just how much life was given so that ours could flourish. Fighting for that gift, it's our responsibility. If we fail, it was all for naught.
Какая-то американская пропаганда идти на войну.
For a moment there, you sounded like Varl.
I don't know what you're talking about. I should go.
As soon as you intend to leave for Gemini,
you'll hear about it.
Альва, наверное, да.
I hope I'm not interrupting.
Not at all. I was just studying the pulse generator schematics. The ones Gaia and Beta built. The craftsmanship is remarkable. Is everything all right? It sounded like there was an issue with Beta and the mission.
Not anymore. We just needed to talk some things through.
To understand one another is to embrace truth. Oh, and if you have a moment, there's something I could use your help with.
Have you spoken with Zoe at all?
A little bit, but I did hear her singing with Varl not too long ago. I don't think they noticed. Zoe seemed so free when she did it. Like every emotion she had was taking flight in song. And she looked happier because of it. I felt so dull and nervous in comparison.
You should ask Zoe to teach you sometime. About Utaru music.
Maybe.
If you need anything before heading out to the cauldrons.
You have nothing to worry about. Gaia's explained your plan in detail, as expected from such an efficient AI. I've even received some very, succinct combat advice from Kotalo. You know, in case the Zeniths show up.
What kind of advice?
He, told me to run.
For now. We'll even the odds soon enough. Any more data catch your eye?
All of it? I have so much to study up on. Years, actually. I'm particularly interested in the Odyssey. We knew the ancestors had made it to the moon. In fact, we theorized some of them had settled on it. But Sirius is way farther than that. And we thought journeying across the ocean would be the feat of a lifetime. The sheer calculations needed for space travel. It's overwhelming to think about.
Even so, the Quen are way ahead of other tribes when it comes to understanding this stuff. Where I grew up, everyone thought that stars were sparks that rose from a fire lit by the goddess to guide us through the night. Must be strange to think that some of the ancestors your tribe reveres are still alive. And here on Earth, right now.
Yeah, it is. Part of me's curious to know who else besides Eric Visser might be among them. Maybe Nikita Arand? We call her the Spark. The legacy tells us she brought unlimited energy to the old ones. Or Sung Jiao, whom we call the Healer. It is said she found new ways to extend the ancestors' lifespans. But my curiosity fades when I think of how different our view of Visser was compared to the reality that you experienced. Perhaps it is better not to know.
You mentioned there was something you needed help with?
Yes. So, as I was sifting through data from the greenhouse, I found references to an old world system back in the Great Delta. It's called Leviathan. My people discovered it decades ago, A sprawling network of river gates and a labyrinth of underground tunnels. The legacy revealed that the old ones used it to control flooding. But we've never gotten it to work. The whole thing is shut down. But the data from the greenhouse mentions the research facility where Leviathan was created. It's in San Francisco.
Another Pharaoh facility?
No. Leviathan was a project by Eileen Sasaki, another ancestor. So the legacy tells us, anyway. If we can acquire that data, we might be able to fix the system back in the Great Delta. Every year, my sister gets terrified when the long rains begin. With Leviathan, maybe she won't have to be.
Okay. So, where in San Francisco is this facility?
That's the thing. The data doesn't say where, exactly. But one of our diviners has been exploring the ruins. He might know. Would you come with me? I have a feeling that wherever this facility is, well, you're much better at fighting machines than I am.
Of course. I'll let you know when I'm in landfall.
Thank you, Aloy.
I should go. Make sure you talk to Gaia if you have any questions about the pulse generators.
May your path lead to truth.
And, like I said, I'll let you know when I'm in landfall. We'll find the data you're after.
I appreciate it.
Да. Да ты уже страдаешь по ней. Где катала? Может, он что-то тоже скажет интересное? Да, скажет.
The coming battle won't be easy. Aloy, are you well?
Had a bit of an issue with Beta. It's better now, though.
Ah, I'm not surprised.
Really? Why not?
I once knew a warrior who discovered he had a brother late in life. It was deeply uncomfortable for him.
Did he ever get over it?
In time. But not before the two siblings nearly killed each other in a single combat challenge.
Ah. Well, at least I avoided that. You nervous about the mission ahead?
If I live, it will be in victory. If I die, it will be in battle. What matters most is that you achieve your objective.
I'll do my best. Think you're ready to put all your training to the test?
I am to Nacht. I am always ready.
I should go get ready.
I await your orders.
Да, по-любому надо задание сделать вот эти. Так, ну все, пожалуй, надо сохраниться у костерка.
Ну, иди, посмотри красоту там. Надо посмотреть, что мне там еще сделали. Какой
Ну, он гамаков наделали.
А?
Гамаков наделали.
Нет, имеется в виду прудик,
Сумок. Штору повешали.
Это висит этот. Как они? Пакеты, блин.
Ну, типа того. Ага.
Да вообще, преобразилось все. Очень сильно.
Так, это не тот выход. Ой.
Все преобразилось. Стало уютно.
Где этот выход?
Молодец, Зо.
Да, вообще. Так, ну это не тот выход, по-моему. О, ну смотри, тут сколько притащил чувак.
А, здесь чувак перетаскивает.
Боеприпасы.
Ага. Ну, ничего себе. Ты в этом в синях стоят.
Ага.
Зло просто мастер на все.
Ага.
А он
Can survive freezing?
О!
Soak it up.
Какой-то такой.
Ничего не поменялось.
Наверное.
Ворота были?
Да, по-моему, были.
Бедная стоит.
Ага, растет тут несчастная. Угу, как обычно. Так.